Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. John Belkowitz here, Intelligent Concrete. Hope you're having a fantastic morning. It's the butt crack of dawn, heading out on an awesome trip. Whitney is setting up my bag. Thank you, Whit. And the kids are still asleep? I think the kids are asleep.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3 are awake?
Or asleep.
No, 2 out of 3 are asleep. So I'm trying to be a little bit quiet here to keep the kids sleeping. But we are embarking on a fun little adventure. This is something I started back in 2006 timeframe when I first got into the commercial side of the concrete industry. I had just graduated, or right before I had graduated from Colorado School of Mines. I went to a job fair and I met a gentleman, Rod, last name doesn't matter, and he was a HR representative for Lafarge North America, and he and I just hit it off. Older gentleman, was about to retire out of the industry, and I was just getting into the industry, and I was just so flipping excited about getting into the concrete industry and being a true part of, the development and the moving forward of the concrete composite. So we just had a great talk and ended up keeping in touch with him. And I don't know if you've ever heard this story. Yeah, and I went to the job fair with like a stack of resumes. I think there was like, somewhere like that high of resumes, just to hand them out and meet people. And I ended up spending the majority of the time hanging out with just Rod and Lafarge North America. And they had a few job fairs, and every single job fair I came back to hang out with Rod and talk to him about concrete and Lafarge. And well, anyway, Lafarge North America started having bigger interview sessions as well as presentations at Colorado School of Mines. And one of them, Rod actually had me go talk to Colorado School of Mines students about how much I love concrete, and because I had done a lot of research on Lafarge, and how Lafarge became Lafarge North America, which at the time they were subsets of the same company, but basically two different companies. So anyway, Rod, I remember one of the talks that I gave on Lafarge and concrete. Somebody asked me if I was actually working for them yet, because I was introduced as a student at Colorado School of Mines. I said, no, I'm not working for them yet. And Rod piped up, oh, don't worry about it, John. We have a job lined up for you. And I hadn't talked to anybody, hadn't seen. And sure enough, a week after that, I had a job lined up. It was awesome. So the impetus of that short story was that when I got to Lafarge and I had my interview and I got my job, I didn't want to leave. Like I had an apartment, but I really just wanted to stay in the concrete research and development lab that I was working in Denver, Colorado. So anyway, based off of that, it was a time when I first started working for the company right before there was a major swing in concrete technology. So I was there right before the calm before the storm. And let me tell you something, the calm before the storm is very, very boring, especially for a young engineer like me who was very excited to get into the industry. So what I started doing, excuse me, I got a cold going around the house. So anyway, what I started doing is making up customers. It was like having an imaginary friend. I had an imaginary contractor who had these very specific concrete mixes. And what I did is I designed a list of specifications, short list of specifications, and then some material properties, for the aggregate, and then add mixtures if there were any. And what I did is for every one of these, job sites, I created a mix design. And I took that mix design to my boss at the time, Matt, and Matt reviewed the mixes, showed me what was right, what was wrong about my calculations. Then I redid the mixes, and then once he approved it, I went out to the lab and I did the mixes to see how the differed from the labcrete. And in some cases, I was actually able to take that mix from the labcrete to the real crete because attached, or not attached, but in the same property as our concrete lab was a concrete batch plant. And what we're going to go into, and this is something I've been wanting to do for years, is basically create a series out of this, not only just for y'all, but also in a book to go over these practice mix designs. So the book that we have is called the PMXDB, the Practice Mix Design Book, and that's what we're going to be getting into. And we'll give you the mix. We want you to pause the video and try it out on your own. And then we're going to go through the actual calculations behind getting to the mix. And we're using ACI 211, which is your normal weight concrete mix design. Very easy, absolute volume method. I absolutely love it. Get it? So yeah, pretty excited to get into this, and we'll get more details as we get going. But yeah, first of many to be published soon. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. Go concrete, beat asphalt.